Hey, Ken here from Man Rider. Yes, this is the middle of April. Yes, this is day 3 of our late season snowstorm. It looks like there's 3 more days to go. We're not getting out on the road for at least another 3 or 4 weeks. It came as a surprise to me. I had planned that we're only going to be up here training for 4 months. I got the bike all set up. I got it all cleaned up, all oiled, all pristine. Brought it up into this wonderful space that my family has given me to train in. And I had anticipated that I'd go this full season, training season, without having to do any maintenance on the bike because that's just where my head was. But this extra snowstorm, this extra couple of weeks, and I put on my glasses one day and I looked like, oh my gosh, I've got to take care of the bike even during the training season. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about 3 things. These are things we do all the time out on the road. You don't even think about it during the outdoor riding season. You've got to take care of the chain. You've got to keep it oiled. You've got to take care of cleaning the bike up from sweat and associated sweat damage that happens. And third, you got to keep the tires pumped up. I hadn't even thought of these things here in the training season because I figured it was such a short time. Everything looks clean to the eye. I look at the bike, it looks really nice, but it wasn't. The chain had actually gotten so dry that I'm embarrassed. I just went down and I oiled it right up. You look down at the chain while you're riding, it's clean. It looks good. When you're out on the road, you always keep the chain clean, and you can look at it and you see if it's a really yucky day outside, the chain gets fuzzy, you know you have to do something in the meantime. None of these clues are here in the training season. The chain was bone dry and 2 minutes, so I'm working up, but I hadn't even thought about it. Same with sweat damage. I keep a really strict schedule on when I throw stuff into the laundry, so my sweat shields over the front, over the cables, over the bars and everything, they're always clean. But I hadn't realized, because I hadn't really looked for it, I hadn't even been thinking about it, that sweat is getting on the bike and it's got to be cleaned up a bit. In fact, I'm embarrassed to even let the camera see it. There's a little bit of corrosion damage there that wasn't there when I started the training season. It is slightly embarrassing. And same here too. I've been looking down at the Garmin. I'm seeing reflections off the front of the Garmin that is just covered in sweat. When we're out on the road, we take the Garmin off every day just to keep it secure so it doesn't get stolen or anything like that, but we're always watching it. Here in the training environment, it just slipped my mind. And I'm going to take that down and clean it after this video. The last thing totally slipped my mind. Every day before you go out on a ride, you pump the tires up. You make sure there's the correct pressure. You look for damage. I hadn't even thought about that up here in the training context. And the other day, I just happened to feel like, the bike is just feeling really different here, even training. When I was done with that training episode, I went down and I felt the tires. Both front and back were so under pressured, you'd have just never done an outside ride like that. And I realized that this training environment I had pictured in my mind, it's very static, nothing changes, but in fact we got to keep up on the same riding disciplines as far as taking care of the bike is during the outside riding season. Kind of as a bonus too, I'm up here in this wonderful training spot, a nice carpet, clean walls, my little videos here for entertaining me and letting me watch the training videos, but I didn't really appreciate on how big a mess the bike makes on the floor. A lot of people have fancy black rubber mats. I have a piece of cardboard that I scavenged from the neighbor's garbage one day. But as I look back behind the bike, down on the floor, behind where the trainer wheel friction device touches the rubber, there is a pile of black rubber that is the rubber that's come off the back of the tire that is just dusting that area. And if there hadn't been something on the floor, my wife would have killed me. The black rubber from the tire would have made a big mess on the carpet, and I would suspect that it would be really hard to clean up. And of course, sweat dripping onto the carpet. You don't want your spare bedroom to smell like a locker room when you're done. Anyway, hey, this is Ken from Old Man Rider. 3 things that kind of took me by surprise this training season: chain, corrosion, tires. You got to keep up on them even during the training season. You just can't let them go like I had thought of this year as a deliberate plan. And Bummer to say, I've got a couple more weeks before we get on the road, but I've taken care of the bike. I'm up to speed. Things are looking good. Really wish you the best. This is Ken from Old Man Rider. See you later.